We're at IntelliSys 2024 and with Çiçek Güven. Çiçek, welcome.
Thank you.
Can you tell me a bit about yourself, your academic background?
Yes, so I came here to the Netherlands to do my Ph.D. Before, for my undergraduate studies or for my master's, I was in Turkey in Tilburg University. I did my Ph.D. in TU Eindhoven, mathematics, a combination of algebraic, combinatorics, basically, and graph theory. Yes, and then I had a break to academia like 4 years. I worked in the consultancy and banking environments in that time frame, yes.
Yeah.
So I exposed myself to finance and trade data. And then I came back to academia around 2016 to do a postdoc into Eindhoven again, but then more in the computer science department. And then I landed on Tilburg in 2018, basically, and from then on I was in Tilburg. I'm an assistant professor in the cognitive science and artificial intelligence department at the moment.
Okay. And now one of the researchers here, because you're presenting a paper, can you tell me a bit about that?
Yes, so the paper is called Model Selection Using Graph Neural Networks. So we approach the AutoML problem. How can we choose the best model to solve a machine learning problem, basically?
Yeah.
So what sits in the this is a problem where usually treated with filtering meta features of the problem of the data set. And we came up with an alternative approach by representing the data, the decision space, as a graph. And then we could apply a graph neural network on it. And the advantage of that is maybe coming up with the meta features may take some computational resources. And in the aggregation process, some of the crucial information is lost. So when we treat it as a graph, then we have an alternative way of representing the most essential part.
So it's quicker and it saves time and energy, is that correct?
Yes.
That sounds great. Did you have any issues while doing that research? Any problems you faced?
Well, computational resources could be an issue, but we are collaborating. Basically, maybe it's good to mention I did this research with my colleagues Gonzalo Napoles from my department and Isel Groh from TU Eindhoven and Yamisledi Iguiero from University of Talca. So we use computational resources for this particular research that sits in the University of Talca, basically. That was a challenge that we could overcome by working together.
Yeah, that makes sense. And how do you feel this will impact the real world? Is there anything that will stand out?
Well, basically, using in general, AutoML problems, of course, has an impact. If you use extensively the computational resources, that has an impact on the environment, right? Because of the sustainability purposes. So any steps in the direction of making things more efficient has a positive impact in the application of AI and, to the greater good of the people, basically.
I'm all for that. I have some rapid fire questions. So I'd like brief and to the point answers. AI, hype or reality?
Reality.
Which industry will be most transformed by AI in the next 5 years or so?
Healthcare, education, and security, I would say.
Can machines truly be creative?
Depends on the definition of creative, I would say.
According to your definition of creative?
No.
Okay. Which AI breakthrough has had the most impact on your work?
Deep learning, I would say. Yes, deep learning.
Is there a book or a resource you would recommend to people interested in AI?
I cannot come up with a quick answer to that.
What is a question you would wish people to ask more about AI?
I think people should be more curious about how to use AI to support, for example, diversity, accessibility, inclusivity in the most responsible way. So people are not, maybe there's they have their prior thoughts about how AI could be dangerous. They should be looking at this from a more like from a perspective where they can make AI useful for themselves.
Okay, so more about what can AI help me in a positive way?
Well, for example, we have several projects in one of those. What we do, we are trying to come up with a tool to use mobile phone pictures to measure malnutrition in children. That's one thing. Yeah. Another thing that we are trying to do is try to understand how brain networks are related to poverties to prevent a generational poverty. Yeah. So there are 2 labs that I'm working with, Zero Hunger Lab and Zero Poverty Lab. Basically, these are more in the direction of AI for good. Another thing that we use AI for social good is, using AI to predict renewable energy resources for renewable energy transition. So there are a lot of things that you can do for AI for
More
people.
should use
Exactly. So my research is more in people-centric network science. Yeah.
I get that. How's the conference been so far?
Conference was great. I like it, and it's practical because I work in the Netherlands.
That always helps. Are there any highlights or standout moments so far?
What I liked, two of the keynote speakers yesterday, basically, they are women. They are really the best in their domain, let's say, one of the best, let's say, in the community. So I'm happy that there is better representation of women in science in such positions. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you.